on in here. Wow, my fingers are so greasy.
All right, hey everyone, Frankie here, New West Reset. Welcome back. Thank you very much for shooting in, joining a guy here for another boots on the ground video. Hey, guess where I am? I'm in Nanton, Alberta. A little small town about an hour south of Calgary here on the highway. I'm here with cousin Vinnie today. There he is. And we're going to do a little tour of the town of Nanton. We're going to start off here in their beautiful old grain elevators. I think there's an interpretive center in this one, and I think it's open, so we're going to try to get in there later on too. But first, we're going to kind of have a look at the outside, because we've got a set of twin elevators here, and then this big main one in great shape, and then they've got a bunch of old-timey farm equipment stuff around the outside. So let's check it out here and see what's what. Beautiful day, excellent day to be out on a little bit of a road trip. So yeah, stick around, be right back.
About a heaven in Alberta, where they've got all hell for a basement.
Okay, so I guess this is the old coal shed here. So this would be where they would keep the coal that would operate the old motor, the old, probably a single piston, dozen horsepower or so machine that operates the belts like we saw at Heritage Park. Probably was right in there, and works all the mechanisms in this thing. I just had a bee land on me. That's nice. Howdy, how are you? Good, thank you. Beautiful day today. This is interesting, an old wagon. And then once you've unloaded your grain or your cereal goods, then off you'd go down the ramp and skedaddle out of here. This is the old method there. We'll have a look at that in a second, but not even a concrete ramp here. They just pile the dirt up and you would just ride up inside. Much like what we saw at Heritage Park. Same kind of deal. Some old farm equipment here, some old plows and so on. And the wheels are like metal wheels and everything. No rubber tires, no nothing. So this would have been the heart of the town, especially for the men folk, in around 1900-ish. The men and the farmhands would load up their grain and come here into town, the grain elevators, and then, as they're waiting their turn to unload and get their price and so on and so forth, the men would commiserate and socialize, and this was kind of a big meeting spot for the men of the community. The community kind of revolved around the the grain industry in this case, for example, and around the church, and that would be about it in a little town like this. Funny little trap door down there. Probably so you can get underneath at the hopper, do maintenance on it.
Why has it got these ledges?
I don't know. I have no idea. Looks to be partially structural. Because they've got those big, huge bolt anchors on them, right? So
Is
Those
it,
rods run right through the building that kind of help hold it
do they
together.
just fill this thing full, or?
Well, there's channels, or like there's chutes, like sort of vertical channels, and the grain's loaded into each channel depending on the grain and depending on the quality of the grain, whether it's, you know, grade A or B or what have you. This fence is open, so I don't know. It's padlocked and it's unlocked, so let's see. Yeah, see, the track just ends right there, so they just kept the track here as part of this interpretive center. But yeah, once the grain was unloaded from the horse and buggy, then, you know, the rail car would roll in here. Then you'd have these swing arms that would come out and just fill the cars up with grain. Not this kind of car, because this is a cattle car, so obviously not, but it's kind of neat. It's the other side of that coal shed. This other swing arm that would come down to service another train on this set of tracks. It's really cool. Fascinating structures, these grain elevators. They're kind of known as the skyscrapers of the prairies. So there you could see again the town name, Nanton, and Alberta wheat pool. See here, they even have their platforms up high enough so as the rail cars roll up, it's right up against here, and you can load and unload cargo directly from these loading docks, I guess. Okay, just swinging back around to the, this is actually the east-facing side here, this side. Whoops, I almost fell. Did you see that? Look at the size of the big metal wheels in these things. I wonder what these were. It's funny, you know, the axles and the wheels are made out of steel or metal of some kind, but the frame is still wooden frame. The chassis would be wood. That's very weird. Pretty heavy duty, whatever these were.
Kind of leaning tower here.
Yeah, that thing looks like it's about ready to tip over in a stiff breeze. The elevators themselves are in pretty nice shape, all three of them. All right, let's see if we can, you want to see if we can get inside?
Sure.
Have a quick peek?
Do it.
All right. I'm going to pause it here for a second, see if we can get in there and have a look around. And we'll be right back.
not a very big shipping point. John only loads about 150 boxcars a year.
So they're still in the process of setting up the museum. Very similar to what we saw in Heritage Park. So I'm actually not going to take the tour, but I am going to make a donation to the museum for letting me come in and video. A lot of the equipment is very similar, like all the handles and levers and everything are all made out of wood. We sell t-shirts and hoodies here, so I think a guy's gonna pick himself up a hoodie.
Here's this motor that was working in the Heritage Park. That's basically the same. That's the one we saw working basically in Heritage Park.
Yeah, we saw this thing pumping away at Heritage Park.
His cousin.
It's the same type, a single piston. Fairbanks and Morse, the same brand too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Really neat.
I'm just saying that the Heritage Park has one of these that's working.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Somebody fixed it.
There is the back train yards where we're welcome to the entrance in between the two buildings. There's just some cow carts and tractors out there as well. It's nice to use for photos if that's what you guys want to do. And then I also have some t-shirts and sweaters available for sale as well. If there's anything you want, just let me know and I'll get you sizing. And then I also have a credit card here as well. In 2001, we were already servicing the larger after trucks through this particular.
You had a shot showing just how thick these walls are.
Yeah, good point actually, Vinnie.
Like,
Yeah, these are, look how thick the walls are here. They're basically 2x4s stacked on top of each other. So instead of it being framed vertically, they're just laid on top of each other,
Solid
nailed
wood.
together with big,
yeah, you can
huge
see a nail
nails.
here.
Yeah, the old-timey handmade nails.
It's like the wood equivalent of rebar.
So here's basically how it works.
And then my elevator on the crank system. But what those both do is they go through an axle.
All right, and we are back. So we've just made our way from obviously those grain elevators over there, and we are now going to be checking out this cute little one-room schoolhouse, old-timey one-room schoolhouse. The McEwen School, I believe, is the name. It's got a plaque on the front. We'll check it out here in a second. But first, I want to take note of the old bell that's still up on the roof there. That's a rare sight indeed. The old school bell wasn't removed and repurposed for, you know, the war effort, as we're so often told. Beautiful little wood frame building. A nice red brick chimney up there. Yes, the McEwen School, it says here. So district number 1663, and the date on this, because it's etched right in the glass in that little window, so you know it's true, 1906. So that makes it legit. Windows are awfully high. I guess so that's so the kids don't stare out the windows and get distracted when they're supposed to be doing their schoolwork.
We've got a few old pictures over there. The bottom left-hand corner there, it's the street.
So this is set up as a visitor center for the town.
On the left-hand side.
But it's original old one-room schoolhouse that was 15 miles from here. And rather than tear it down when it became obsolete, they picked it up and moved it here.
And if you look back and forth, it's just really crazy to see. You know what I mean? And the homestead the community
Uh-huh.
and then grew from there.
Is much known about all the old brick buildings in town, or like
Well,
how they were built and stuff?
we don't have much information about the construction per se, but the two open Facebooks there are Mosquito Creek Groundlet Volumes 1 and 2, which contain the majority of our town's history.
This one? Or this one?
Yeah, the open Facebooks. That
Oh, yeah.
one there, the red one there is the older one, detailed 1960s. It even has a page detailing the schoolhouse in particular.
What's this? I've never heard of this. Nanton's Great Train Robbery.
Fought over naming rights, which is really fun.
We like old brick buildings.
Very interesting. Speaking of old bricks,
Oh wow,
there's a couple right here.
those are old.
They're stamped too.
What's the stamp say?
APO U, APOU, APCU, APCU, whatever that is. Interesting. All right, so we just left that little museum schoolhouse place. Very interesting. Lots of information in there. Got a lot of pamphlets and stuff for not only things to see and do here in Nanton, but other little small towns that are very close by that have, you know, old railroad museums or whatnot, or so on and so forth. But in a second here, we're going to run across the highway, risk our lives, check out this W.S. Keeley building. Apparently it was a furniture store and a hardware store at one point. It's now an antique shop, of course. But it's a beautiful building. A lot of nice sandstone, again, above and below the windows there. Big sandstone slabs. It's pretty intricate brickwork there along the top. It's kind of nice. Along there. But if memory serves, around the back of it, there's some shenanigans. So let's just run across the highway. The highway basically runs right through this town. It's crazy. You have 2 lanes going northbound and 2 lanes going southbound, right through town, and they're separated by this block. Nice beadboard work there in the entranceway, transom windows above the doors. I'm assuming that's how you get up to the upper floor. But saw some shenanigans in the back that pertains to that as well. Well, the building's for sale if anybody's interested. I don't know if you got a couple extra $1 million burning a hole in your pocket maybe.
That's what we came here for.
Yeah, this is the good stuff.
Big pile of bricks.
I mean, the little school and that was neat and all that, sure, but I mean, this is the meat and potatoes.
Somebody's stacking a brick in it.
That sandstone looks rough. Looks like it has seen better days. Very discolored for some reason. You can see here that the street slopes from the back of the building to what's the front of the building. This again is the east-facing side of the building, the front. And you can see the brick just gets more exposed as the slopes downward, so again, one wonders how deep that goes.
It's like the snow has leached out the mortar at the bottom. A couple of
Yeah, they got to do some patchwork with the mortar in here for sure. I'm guessing this was maybe at one time the old loading dock for the hardware store, because it's up off the ground quite a bit with a very significant sandstone block there at the threshold. But it looks like there's already been some repair work here maybe, or something. But this is some shenanigans here. You've got a shack excuse the glare, but they've got a shack off the back of this thing that goes up to the second floor. So if you've got that front entrance that goes up to the second floor, why did they have to do this? I mean, this looks so old that they had to jerry-rig it around that sandstone under the window there. This looks so old that it's not like they had to put it in because, oh, the fire code says you have to have a separate fire exit from your main entrance. I mean, this would still have been built before all of that song and dance, so I'm thinking at one time, like, did they build this so they could access down and up and just get to it all from one staircase? I don't know. And they've got the old outbuilding at the back. I'm wondering if at one point...
A pallet of bricks over there.
Yeah, I saw that, and a funny low door with an arch there too. Maybe we can run around the other side and have a look. But even this old building is odd. It's like a garage, maybe an old garage. I don't know, because all this is all bricked in, and it's got a wrought iron fence around it. So
Is that a grating in the middle of? Is that a grating in the middle of a?
is that a grate or is that a?
I don't know.
Again, I'm noticing that the windows in the front and on this side, which is the north-facing side, are rectangular windows with the sandstone above and below. But here at the back, it's an arch window, and it's only got the sandstone on the bottom of the window itself. One would think the arched fancy windows would be at the front of the building, but maybe they wanted to get fancier with the sandstone in the front instead. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to zip down the alley here and see if I can get closer over there to that side of the building and have a look at it from that side. So hang tough, give me a second, I'll be right back. So what Cousin Vinnie brought up a second ago, it is a grate. That's like a metal grate covering some opening that goes down in the back lot of this old hardware store slash old furniture store. It's now an antique store. They've closed in and put a smaller window in here. You could see where there was maybe a door here or a big window because there's sandstone underneath, and they've bricked some of that in. Then here's an arched door that slopes down. So actually, no, it's not the slope. It's a couple of steps down. And then there's like an old, I don't know what's going on here behind this old fireplace thing that they've shoved outside. That's not part of the building, but behind it is I guess a door there. Then we got a weird door here. A funny door. I don't know what's going on, man. It's a dog's breakfast. It's a dog's breakfast. And again, down this side, we've gone back to rectangular windows instead of arched.
They got patched at some point. They're all funny around there.
Yeah, it's all kinds of schmutz around them. It's weird. Yeah, there's another brick here, so
Straight into the ground, eh?
it just keeps going down. It keeps shooting down in there. So I don't know how far down that goes. I only dug down about 4 inches, but
Did the for sale sign say anything about a spacious basement?
yeah, the building's for sale. Features a basement and a sub-basement. But as per usual, a lot of interesting stuff going on at the backs of these buildings. Speaking of which, we're going to whip back around the front and keep heading around here and hit more of this town while we have the sunshine on our side. Be right back.
And now, before the next show starts, let's enjoy an intermission. You'll find our snack bar chock full of good things to eat and drink. Fresh, crunchy popcorn. Intermission time. Time that stretch you've been wanting. And best of all,
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
you get more out of life when you go out to a movie.
Show starts in 4 minutes.
Refresh yourself. It's intermission time. The concession stand is open and ready to serve you.
Yum, yum. It's time for a tasty and refreshing snack.
For your convenience, we shall keep you informed of the remaining intermission time, 3 minutes before the next show starts.
We're happy to have you with us this evening and want you to enjoy every minute of your stay here.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
What's to eat? What's to drink?
Good food galore.
Quick as a wink.
Right.
The next show will start in 1 minute.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Intermission time. Time that stretch you've been wanting. And best of all,
All right, so that is the W.S. Keeley, sorry. W.S. Keeley block. Make our way down here. Another half block. Another antique store. Of course, what are you going to put it in an old world brick Mudflood building but an antique store, I guess. The big one here coming up is I think a bank. But this little one here used to be an old grocer's, green grocers and dry goods store, from what I understand. There's now another antique shop. One wonders why you got to step up off the sidewalk to get in. Well, you got to step up and then step up again. It's a nice old wooden frame building. It's really, really nicely looked after. Again, this town relies a lot on the tourist industry. So it's obviously been fixed up nice for tourism, but it's in good shape. The McLaren Brothers and Hamill building. Dry goods, grocers, and you can get some boots and shoes there. Cowboy boots, I reckon cowboy boots. And then here's the old bank building. And this is a beauty. Of course, the bank is always the nicest building on the block. And this has been kind of modernized a little bit here, but let's see up there the sawtooth or dogtooth design. And then here we're getting some sandstone. I guess that's their night deposit. I'm thinking it used to be a door because it's got an awfully fancy pediment over it. Some nice scroll work on the carving there. Excuse the traffic noise. Like, this is the main highway, as mentioned, so you're gonna get a lot of cars whipping through here. The drain goes right down into the sidewalk. Okay, so there's something under there. Sandstone down in that crack. A chunk of it's busted off here, but you see the sandstone is quite substantial, beautiful. Nice big arches here, keystone, top of each brick arch. Sandstone above and below the windows up here too. Provincial Historic Registry button and their entrance on the front corner. I love that. By the way, Nanton to this day only has about 2,000 people in it.
Yeah, the whole graduating class was on one billboard.
Yeah, the whole graduating class wasn't even 24 kids. They do have an elementary, junior high, and high school here. And the town's roots are basically 1903. But some of these buildings seem much older to me than 1903. Especially when you look at some of the damage with the sandstone and some of the discoloration. And the streets are sloping like crazy. So this is potentially an old mud floodder too. A little home decor shop here in the same building. And this, I'm guessing, is the entrance to get to the upper floors. Really nice looking old building. Not really a lot to see back here though. A couple of really big arched windows up there. That, I'm guessing, has always been a door. Looks like it used to be a fire escape. Now it's just a death trap. Something happened to their fire escape here, Vinny. I mean, if there's a fire, I mean, you take your chances with the flames or take your chances jumping off there? I don't know. They've punched in a new modern steel door there, but it's a weird trade-off. Like, let's brick in this big, huge opening, but then later on we'll punch it in a huge opening? And then they've built a fake foundation or smeared a bunch of schmutz up the side of it over there. It's really weird. Some remnants of the old knob and tube electrical up there too. Over here as well. Yeah, see, they've just put like a... make it look like that foundation. It's kind of a false or phony foundation, fake foundation. Oh, and they've bricked in some windows up in there too on this side. Again, major slope on the back of this thing too. You'd think they'd level it off if they're just going to pour a modern concrete sidewalk or something back here. You think they would do it level?
What are those sloping, like almost like curtain rods up above the windows, but on the outside?
Oh, that's just the electrical. It's the conduit. There's like electrical.
No, but lower than that. Those don't seem to be connected to anything. Almost look like curtain rods above.
Oh, like right above, and it's kind of going on an angle there.
They're sloped. I see them in a couple other buildings.
I think that's probably maybe remnants of the old, maybe the old telegraph or old electric.
It's almost like a curtain rod or something.
Like I don't even know. Maybe they had curtains hanging on the outside to, because I mean this would face west, right? So it's get a lot of sunlight. So maybe they, I don't know. That's a good question, Vinny. I have no idea. If you know in the comments, let me know. He's talking about these sort of things that look like curtain rods that are on an angle here. So we've got a couple of little ones here, but really nice. Lots of detail on them. Got this little brick here next to the 1960s telephone building. But then this little one right here.
See the side of this thing from the lane, it's kind of fallen apart. The brick on this thing.
This used to be a grocery as well.
See an old sign painted on the side. You can't see it.
Yeah, because this thing's from the 60s, probably. 50s or 60s, maybe 70s, the Telus building. This is a cute little one, this Primal Soul Incorporated building. But this one next to it, dated 1902. No, 1908. Okay. I was going to say it's dated a year before the town was founded, but no, it's 1908. The Nanton Drug Company building. Look at this beauty. Like, will you give me a break? Not even 2,000 people in this town ever. You gotta have.
See, that's made of wood, eh? It's just a
yeah.
Piece of it's broken off.
Piece of it's busted off and it's wood, yeah. They've painted the sandstone to try to slow down the erosion too. Looks like at one point the whole building was painted a weird green, but they've since stripped it back to the brick. Beautiful arched windows there too. Yeah, what a really nice little old building. 1908. Like this little main street here, this is like your typical little western prairie town main street that we see here in Canada. You know, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta. But probably you recognize it a lot in the States too. You know, this could be in like, I don't know, North Dakota or somewhere in Tennessee.
Every little town's got a pocket just like this.
Yep, every little town. You go to Texas, you go to Wyoming, you go to Utah. They're gonna have little buildings like that little ice cream shop there. Not super big and fancy, but you know, for a town with limited population and limited resources in a very short timeline. You know, they're stacking the brick along the roof line and putting all this extra effort into stuff. All right, what do you say we make our way to the old hotel? All right, little Georgie's Cafe here. A nice little 2-story. Unfortunately, it's covered in schmutz, but down the alley here, we've got some arched windows. They built a modern addition on there and it's all brutalized, but a couple arched windows off to the side here.
I think there's brick under here.
Yeah, I think maybe. It could be a wood frame, but I'm thinking with the arched, or what used to be an arched windows there, I'm thinking probably brick. And this is the back of the hotel. I guess we'll start here because it's pretty interesting. There was a fire there, look. You can see up in there was a fire. All the wood beams are all burnt and everything up in there. So somebody was messing around up there and caused a fire. Okay, so underneath the facade brick, you can see there's another wall of brick underneath there. And you can see the old original arch there. That's very interesting. You can see there was
the same brick though. It's not a different sort of brick. It's just another layer.
Yeah, it's just another layer. But there was an arch here, and then they put in a rectangular or squared off window, and then filled it in, and then eventually somebody's come along with the facade brick. There's another pile of brick here.
What's that lettering on the brick?
Where do you see?
Right up here, this one.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Look like English.
It's a stamp. It looks like something 4-3 maybe. Bunch of bricks here stacked up. Bunch of arched windows here. I don't know if this is part of the same building or what. I'm thinking this was maybe a... This was maybe a... I don't know, outbuilding that's associated with the hotel or something. Maybe it was like a mechanical building or I don't know what. It's got an old hoist and an old hayloft up above there, so maybe it was a stable at one point. This place is just strewn with bricks. There's bricks just literally laying in the road and in the alleyway here.
CC Company?
CC something. Yeah, CC Company. So weird though. Like it's literally just crumbling out of here. What has happened in Nanton?
Doesn't even line up.
No. Wonder if maybe there was another building that was attached onto this at one point, maybe, but I mean, then there's a door there, so maybe not. I don't know. Another head scratcher. But yeah, let me whip around to the front and see what we can see here. All right, so just the side road off the main drag here. Get your liquor store, your rooms for rent, a cafe, and a tavern. Arched windows here. No sandstone though. Arched doorway here to get into the what was the liquor store. Vacant spot now. Half-hearted attempt to board up that window. Concrete. All locked up.
See the brick on this green big foundation.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the usual, right? Oh, no, you're good. Thank you, sir. Looks like there used to be a big sort of, probably a covered veranda, or like you could sit out here in the evening, right, from the tavern back in the day, because this would have been, you know, big pillars that would have supported, and you could see where it was attached to the building along that line there. And again, let's just stack it a brick, no problem. 2,000 people in the town, and we just got all the time and money in the world, I guess. Don't get me wrong, it's beautiful. I'm glad they did it. I'm just wondering how they did it. Well, we know there's a lower floor of some sort. They've blocked it over with cinder block, but you can see there's a stone foundation here.
Sandstone?
Yeah, it's your sandstone foundation with the brick on top. So that should be correct. That should be correct. But then something's been blocked in there. So this does have a lower floor. It goes down. And it would have had a big covered veranda or porch on the front here at one time. Really interesting here. All right, we just made our way a block off of the main street there. Just a couple of really nice old homes here. We got this one right here. Beautiful, with the dormer there above. And this one, the really intricate angles and pitches to the roof. So, it's a lot of extra work. Beautiful place, again, big veranda on the front. Pink and gray and off-white. All right. Kind of looks like Neapolitan ice cream. Moving on.
They put in the verticals here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this was. I'm thinking it might have been an old telephone, like the old AGT, Alberta government telephone, the old switchboard phone buildings. It looks very similar to a couple we've looked at in Calgary already. One in Englewood and one in Connaught in the Beltline, close to where I live in St. Alta in Calgary. It definitely has a lot of the same telltale signs as the old telephone buildings. It's got a couple of brick chimneys on top there and some older style windows. They even still have the storm windows in place. They never bothered taking them out. It's got a really old building out and behind it too. Separate outbuilding. So this very well could have been the old telephone / telegraph building back in the day, perhaps. It definitely looks that way. We've got concrete above and below the windows instead of sandstone. And it's quite high up from the front off of the street level sidewalk here. You gotta go up 6 stairs, 5 stairs, 2, 4, 6, yeah, 6 stairs, and then 4 more to get up. It's got like a wooden entranceway. It's kind of weird because you take a couple steps down over here. So I don't know what's going on. It's definitely concrete though.
Let's see the schmutz.
Yeah, see they just drew lines in here. It's not cinder block. It's just a stencil to make it look like it's stacked masonry. But yeah, perhaps an old telephone building. All right, keep moving on here. Okay, so we're just on the other main road now. I remember I had said that the highway basically runs through the town, where you have southbound 2 lanes and then northbound 2 lanes, and they're separated by this block, which is the old town, the old city center that we've been walking around in. So now we're kind of at this end of the old town. There's a couple of other buildings to check out down the street there too, but this thing, like, what is going on in the lower foot and a half of this building? It looks like this brick is soaking or wicking up moisture from down underneath it. And as it's wicking or soaking it up, then it's drying off as the sun hits it. I don't know, I'm not a scientist or anything, but it kind of looks like what's happening. And then of course, as a result of that moisture and water damage, the mortar is eroding out of there, and I don't know what's going on. It's like what
you're always showing with the sandstone. It's like the lower couple of feet of the sandstone just like melts away.
Yeah.
With the snow piling up.
Yeah, it just completely disintegrates. Get some arched windows and an arched door here at the back of this thing. And again, a lot of damaged brick there. Very, very unusual. I'm not sure what's going on here. But it's definitely effed up. You can see the arched windows here along the top, and again that stacked brick detail along here. Some leaded glass here, frosted leaded glass. It's kind of nice. You can see as the sidewalk pavement slopes downward here away from the building, but you can see that the brick just carries down underneath there, and it's starting to erode and get damaged. So again, the guy wonders how far down that goes. Oh, and of course it's another antique shop. Man, you can't swing a dead cat in this town without hitting an antique store. Again, a couple steps to go up. And this little guy here with the textured facade of brick. Very interesting. Alright, we got a couple more places to check out, and then there's an old school, I think, an old church, and that should just about do it. So stick around another minute or two. Be right back to wrap up Nanton here in southwestern Alberta. Alright, so just a couple more blocks in off the main high street here. This interesting old church. Unfortunately, it's covered in stucco and schmutz, but it still has a really nice metallic roof on the old bell tower there. So that's an unusual sight to see. My guess is probably mid-teens, maybe 1920s. Again, very hard to tell because it's all covered in stucco and crud, but nice looking little church. I did spot a couple of nice old world looking brick homes here down the street, so might as well just keep her rolling and go and check out this place right here. Not a very big town, as mentioned, you know, right around 2,000 people. You only got maybe 30 square blocks, really, for the most part. I mean, there's a couple of roads and streets and new little suburban subdivisions that have been springing up, but not a lot, to be honest with you. Look at this beautiful old brick house. Eh? Nice arched doorway there. Nice dormer there at the top of the wooden shingle roof. Oh, an old-timey horse and wagon buggy thingy there in the front yard. Sure, why not? Is this a house? I think it's somebody's private residence, I think. Yep. Oh, wow. Huh. Look at that. Looking a little rough, a little worse for wear, but very, very interesting, very unique. Wow. Very impressive home. Yeah, I'd live in that. Very nice. Nice arch windows there in the front as well. I think there was another one just a little bit further down, so let me pause it here again for a moment and I will be right back. Another beautiful old-timey house here. Lots of beautiful dormers on this thing. It's got the brick chimney up top there, and it's got some ether fencing up on it. It's been covered, unfortunately, in siding, but still see a little bit of the old world left on this beauty as well. See some sandstone down along the bottom there as well. Really nice big old place. See if I can get around to the front of it here. Yeah, you can see that this has all been modernized, but you can still see a little bit of the stone there in the foundation. Yeah, really neat. All right, give me another minute or two. Be right back. All right, so Guy did one more quick looky-loo around the town, and I think we've pretty much explored everything that we can explore here, for the most part, aside from maybe the odd house or two that we may have missed. So there you go. That is going to seal the deal here today for Frankie and Cousin Vinnie. New West Reset, Nanton in southwestern Alberta. Cute little prairie town. So as per usual, let me know what you think down below. Of course, do all the other stuff. Until the next one, take care out there and have yourselves a good one. All right, everybody? Cheers.
Go home, just be like...